So you're looking to make an Unturned dedicated server. In this step-by-step guide, I'm going to show you just how to do that. Firstly, we're going to need to download SteamCMD. To do that, you can search for SteamCMD in Google or visit the link in the description to find it. Once on SteamCMD, you need to have a look for the section called Downloading SteamCMD. Once there, click on the download link, like so. Once you've downloaded SteamCMD, you can go ahead and extract it. SteamCMD requires a first-time run for it to download everything it needs. Once SteamCMD is finished downloading all of its required components, you can type in quit into the console. Now we are going to need to go on to step 2, which is downloading the unturned server files. To do this, find somewhere on your computer where you'd like the server files to be stored. Just as an example, I'm going to do this on my desktop, and I'm going to call it Unturned Server. Now we're going to need to navigate back to where we have SteamCMD and double-click it. Once there, we need to grab the folder path of where we want the server located. And in SteamCMD, you're going to type force install dir, and then simply space and right-click to paste the directory information. Then press enter. We will now need to log in anonymously so we can connect to Steam servers. You can do that by typing in login anonymous. Once logged in, we are now going to need to download the server files. To do that, you can type in app_update space 1110390. This number is the app ID of Unturned's dedicated server. And at the end of this, we're going to type in validate so we can confirm the download has completed successfully. This download could take a second, so be patient while it downloads. Once your download is complete, SteamCMD at the bottom will say success app, and then the app ID is fully installed. Now we have a couple of options to go from here. Firstly, we can obtain a server login, which will allow us to be publicly visible on the game server browser, or you can skip this step and use the party invite code that the server provides. For this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to obtain your server login token. We're going to take the app ID 304930, which is Unturned's official app ID, and then we can head over to steamcommunity.com/dev/manage-game-servers. Paste the app ID of the server, and the memo is going to be just a way you can remember your Unturned server. So I will call this my Unturned server. You'll then go ahead and click create. Upon creation, you can see we've received a login token. From here, copy that and open up a notepad so you can keep that stored away. In order to get all of our configuration files ready, we need to launch the example server.bat. You may notice Windows security pops up. This is just asking for permission to access the firewall so it can forward the default ports. Make sure you press allow on this. Once done, you should see all of this information. For now, what we're going to do is close this, as we still need to set up the server. To do that, you can press Ctrl+C, or you can type in shutdown into the console. To configure the server, we're going to need to go into servers, example, and config.txt. We now need to take the login token that we saved from earlier, go back to config.txt, and search for login_token. From there, you'll press the spacebar and paste in your login token. Make sure you save this. You can now close out with the config.txt file. Now for the last part of this tutorial, we need to edit the Commands.dat file. To find this, go into server and then Commands.dat. Open this using Notepad. we now need to configure how we want our server to run. Trytechguides.com has a guide for this. You can head to step 4 from the link in the description and copy and paste this configuration. We will change a couple of settings here just so we can identify our server. So for my name, this will be your session name, which will show up in the server browser. I'm going to call it Brad's Test Server. To find your Steam ID, you can visit a website called SteamCMD.io and paste in your community link. Once there, you want to take the Steam ID 64-bit URL and set your owner to that ID you've just copied. Once done, you can save this, and now we can go ahead and start our server. Once the server is finished loading, you will see a few things. Firstly, there is a server code. If you do not wish to port forward, you can take this server code, pass it on to your friends, and they can join via that direction. Otherwise, if you do want to join without having to send a server code over, you can port forward and join via the server browser. In this tutorial, I'm just going to go to LAN and press join. To select LAN, you can change the settings in the bottom left corner until it says LAN, and then refresh. You can now join the server with the password you have chosen. You've now joined your server, and you can feel free to play as you wish. One more thing I will quickly note is in the example server's batch file, it is set to LAN mode. To change this, you can go to Edit and remove the plus LAN server example. And now your server will open on internet mode, meaning your server can be found in the server list.